It started with the collapse of Iraq and Libya, because these two countries are in pieces as we speak. So this Sahel region, nobody is really in charge. So in Iraq, that's small arms are in the hands of wrong people. Libya, small arms are in the hands of wrong people. And when guns are in the hands of wrong people, those who are not supposed to have it, bad things happens. And in Nigeria as a whole, our borders are very, very porous. Our borders are very, very porous. People, and they're coming with dangerous weapons. And that's why every day by day, you'll be getting all this kind of killing. The only state that are, the only geopolitical zone that appear to be safe as we speak now could be, although it's in crisis. APC has put rivers in crisis, even though it is not that's a terrorist group. And short, there's no geopolitical zone in the country as we speak that is peaceful. There's no geopolitical zone in the country as we speak that is peaceful, even though it's now worse in the southeast, northwest, and northeast. But no, Plateau is on fire, Benue is on fire, and these are not central states. So there's no geopolitical zone in the country as we speak that is having peace.
Talking about terrorism, I mean, we're close to Cameroon, right? And Cameroon, yeah, we're close to Cameroon, right?
Burkina Faso. We are
Mali,
surrounded
Niger.
By Niger, by Cameroon.
Okay, Cameroon,
yes,
okay. And these
even
countries,
Benin, that's from Badagry, you enter Cotonou.
There's been some banter about this report some times ago about this terrorism act, and now that they are rating Nigeria number 6 among this country, I think we should be backwards, because talking about Niger, Cameroon, they're close borders. And if you know that coming from a plateau, the northern side, I think these terrorists are the ones that come into the country.
From the Sahel region.
Yes, from the Sahel region. So this NBS statistics, what do you think about it? I love my country, and I wouldn't like my country to be at number 6.
For me, fact doesn't care how anybody feels. Fact is fact, understand me? Nigeria is terrorized.
But these people are the ones crossing our borders.
Then what are you doing about it? Donald Trump has to make sure bad people enter from the Mexican border to the United States, carrying a lot of drugs, ammunition. Donald Trump has to start building borders. And that's one of the reasons why Donald Trump won last year, because he is showing seriousness in protecting their borders. But here in Nigeria, it is not happening.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Before we move into the next story, you can contribute to the program. All you have to do is listen to all the stories we're going to dissect. And of course, we're streaming live on YouTube. Head over to the YouTube at VOP, Voice of the People 90.3. Then you see the faces behind the mic here in the studio. And if I release the phone lines now, you're going to be buzzing me, but I'll do that in a short while after taking some of the stories. Now let's move to Islamic cleric criticizes schools closure for Ramadan. And there have been a lot of people come on X, which is formerly Twitter, talk about why would the government think of closing school in Ramadan? I mean, why is that happening?
Well, for me, Boko Haram simply means that Western education is a sin. Understand me? To them, haram means sin. So Boko Haram is fighting against Western education, even though they are using Western-made guns to be fighting against Western education. Because if you hate Western education, you should hate everything about them. Understand? Everything that comes from the Western world, you should reject it. You shouldn't be picking and choosing.
Okay, let me quickly read some the stories. The National Chief Imam of Al-Habiyya Islamic Society, Imam Fuad Adeyemi, has faulted a 5-week closure of schools for the Ramadan fast by some northern state government, including Bauchi, Katsina, Kanu, and Kebbi. Adeyemi was a guest on the Friday edition of one of a press of a media channel in Lagos. He said the full month Ramadan period is the time for Muslims to be serious with God and be hardworking. So he said, and I quoted, "To me, I see it as a political. If you know the history of fasts in Islam, they might say there is heat, but the heat here cannot be as hot as Saudi Arabia. During a fast, there are a lot of things that are done that change the way things are being done." And I'm going to talk here right now, quoted by him actually. Regarding this statement he released out, I was once a Muslim, of course, a practicing one. And I'm going to clearly state this, that of course, we all fast. And I think there is nowhere is written in the Holy Quran that I have actually read while growing up before I became a Muslim, marital status right now, and personal reasons, that states you should close schools, or rather, this is going to affect you during this fast, during the holy month. Because what I was reading, Mr. Nnamdi, what I was reading while growing up is, as a pregnant woman, you're not allowed to fast. A woman on her period is not allowed to fast. A traveler is not allowed to fast because your body tends to travel. When you're on the road, you don't fast. If you're sick, a mother breastfeeding is not allowed to fast. These are what I know that I read in the Quran. So, and coming out from a man that, okay, well, I really don't know him. Now, the decision has sparked widespread debate, with the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, condemning it as discriminatory and counterproductive, especially in a region already struggling with high poverty and illiteracy. Now, CAN, which is the Christian Association of Nigeria, warned that keeping schools short for 5 weeks would further deepen Nigeria's education crisis, citing UNICEF's 2024 report, which placed the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria at 18.3.
Well, that figure is even an understatement. That figure is an understatement because September last year, I know that many people, many children did not resume school because you have to eat before you can go to school. So because of the hardship in the country, the number of out-of-school children has increased. So this could be that's a figure that they got about 5-6 years ago. It has increased, but the issue is this: many children did not resume school. So the issue is this: the Imam has said that it is not Islamic, understand me, but it is political. It is political because for me, this is the first time that I am hearing this.
This is the first time I'm also hearing this.
And I'm a Christian, but I have read Quran back to back.
Mr. Nnamdi, how do you read Quran back to back if you're a Christian?
I have read Quran back to back. I have read Torah back to back. I have read Talmud back to back. I need to know.
Is it the English translation of the Quran?
I can't read the other one now.
I just want you to make it clear because I was going to ask you some things personally.
Or the English translation. Understand me? So I've read the Veda, that the Hindu scripture. I've read the Bhagavad Gita for the Hare Krishnas. Understand? So and that really made me to understand that God is one. and that all the religions are worshiping God. Even though there are some texts written by individuals which are incisive. Understand me? Just like these people, blasphemy, where they say that somebody had done something against God, they will kill him or burn him. It's not in the Quran. What is in the Quran is that God said, "Don't fight," and I said, "Don't fight for me. I will fight for myself." That is what is in the Quran. So those people who are killing people, burning people because they said something or did something that they feel is un-Islamic, that section is not in the Quran. So, but on this issue, government is siding with Boko Haram, a terrorist organization, in supporting not going to school. So this is my interest in this issue.
Now, how do you think that the Northern State government justified the decision to shut down the schools for 5 weeks, and there is no any precedent for such a policy?
No, those schools are under the state. Understand me? Those schools are under the state, but what they fail to realize is that private schools are not under their control, but they also give order for private schools to be shut. This is where it becomes a worry. And these students have external exams, WAEC and JAMB in May, June. And you are giving them a holiday of a month and a week. Mind you, the school academic period is just 15 weeks. That's the first 7 weeks. They will go to school, then they will observe their midterm break on the 8th week. Now finish up the other remaining 7 weeks, making it 15. But with this thing now, you are giving them that's more than 19 weeks. Understand? That's you are giving them more than enough time for them to be in school. So there's no way that they can stay outside school for 5 weeks, come back, and pass their exams. And the problem is this: the parents of these people that took this decision, their children are outside the country. I'm sure Bandar Mohammed's children are not schooled in this country. His commissioners, their children are not schooled in this country. So it is the poor masses that they are denying knowledge. So
what alternatives do you think that should have been given that rather exist to balance this religious observance with academic progress?
There's no alternative. School period should be used for school period.
All right, thank you for that. Now let's move on to the next story. Bode George rejects Article's 2027 bid, urges Peter Obi to join PDP. Now the news in detail is the former deputy national chairman of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Bode George, has strongly opposed the idea of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar running for president under the PDP in 2027. He said the move has fueled internal rebellion within the party. He also insisted that it would be unjust for another northerner to secure the party's ticket, declaring no reasonable southerner will campaign for a northern candidate in 2027. And meanwhile, he also addressed Peter Obi's political future, saying that the Labour Party lacks the national structure to challenge the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. He urges Obi to return to the PDP, emphasizing that only a united and strategically positioned opposition could defeat President Bola Tinubu, while dismissing assumptions that Tinubu's re-election was inevitable. He stressed that PDP must embrace fairness and unity to stand a chance. And also, George has also extended an olive branch to Nyesom Wike, urging him to reconcile with the PDP for the greater good of the country. Now, he has also criticized the federal government interference in state politics, warning the ongoing tensions in Lagos, Rivers, Osun, and Kanu State. Now, the question is, Bode George has strongly opposed Atiku Abubakar's 2027 presidential bid, warning that it could lead to another PDP defeat. Now, what are the key concerns within this party, and is there any real momentum to block Atiku's candidacy?
Well, for me, I want to start with what Bode George said is his own personal opinion. He cannot decide for Atiku Abubakar or for PDP.
But he's talking about the future of the PDP regarding the 2027 presidential election.
I understand. I said that what he's talking about is his own personal opinion. That is what he feels, that Atiku should not run. He has no capacity to make decision for Atiku. Atiku is an adult. He has the power, the right to...
Now, do you see Atiku winning the election in 2027 under the PDP?
I say, we are talking about who will run and who will not run. You have to pick the party's ticket to qualify as a candidate.
Now, in your own opinion, do you think that with... right now, do you think Atiku Abubakar will, if he runs for presidency in 2027, do you see the PDP actually winning the ticket?
The truth is that no single party can defeat APC in 2027.
Even the Labour Party? Peter Obi?
No single party can defeat APC.
Why do you say so?
Because if they are to go individually as a party, that's NNPP presenting their own candidate, Labour Party presenting their own candidate, PDP presenting their own candidate, they are going to share the votes. Understand me? When they share votes, the margin will not be much again. Then it will be very easy for APC to rig it again. Understand? But when all the parties in opposition come and they become one, there's nothing that INEC can do. That's what in the election, that's what we call too big to rig.
Okay, explain that further.
Yes. In the United States, Democrats would have rigged Donald Trump out. But the way the results came, there's nothing that they can do about it. Understand me? Because the whole 7 swing states, Donald Trump won all. So, if in an election the opposition has 10 million, APC has 5 million, there's no madness that will make them to rig it. But when you are having a candidate having 6 million, the other one having 5.5 million.
Are you insinuating, you citing that the people right now with what you're facing, the current economic situation in this country right now, that a lot of people are going to turn out to vote the APC in 2027?
I say,
is that your standpoint?
When the margin is not big enough, that's why the opposition should come together. When the margin is not big enough, it's very easy for the party in power to rig.
The opposition, like which of the opposition coming together are you talking about?
PDP, Labour Party, NNPP, SDP, and others.
Or they should all
come together and become one party, just like ACN, CPC, AMPP, and ABGA coming together in 2014 to form APC. So it is a coalition that will remove the PDP. It is also a coalition that will remove APC. If they go it individually, they will fail. It will be very easy for INEC to do what they did in 2019 and in 2023.
Now, a lot of people have come out to talk about, especially in social media, that the last election was rigged. Are you what do you think about that? Was it actually rigged? I mean, what's your opinion regarding that? Because there's somewhere I'm going. What's your opinion first?
Were you not in the country?
Okay, maybe I was still somewhere. Just say your own opinion.
Excuse me, the example, when your wishes come true, what do? You rejoice, you celebrate, isn't it? Mm-hmm. When what you want come true, you celebrate. When Yakub Muhammad Nicodemously announced that result by 4 a.m., when good people were sleeping, in the morning, did you hear any rejoicing in the country, anywhere in the country? And has any election result to be announced by 4 a.m. in the country?
Now, there's the latest news that came out. President Tinubu appoints Professor Jega as special advisor. And when I saw this news, I read it and I smiled. What do you think about this latest development?
It is his right to appoint whoever he wants. Understand? It is his right to appoint whoever he wants. But it will not stop if the opposition can come together and form a coalition.
Do you think that this is as a favor of the last election that happened? According to you right now, you said when the results were announced, a lot of people they were not happy. They were not rejoicing here and there. And Nigerians,
when the result was announced, Nigerians went into mourning. Mm-hmm. When the result was announced, Nigerians went into mourning. Understand me? And that showed you that it was not the will of the people that was announced.
So what exactly happened? What exactly do you think that happened? That you think Nigerians did not get the exact result, or the result was rigged?
Were you not in the country? I have asked you a question. If your will manifests, what do? You celebrate, you rejoice. Mm-hmm. But when your expectation didn't manifest, mm-hmm. you become sad, you become depressed, you become frustrated. Mm-hmm. So that very day, after the announcement of the result, Nigerians mourned to show that it was not their will that was announced. Mm-hmm. If it was their will, there would have been jubilation everywhere in the country. So that simply answers your question.
Okay.
So, excuse me.
Okay.
On the issue of Jega, mm-hmm. one, Jega was the person that brought APC in power in 2015.
Okay.
But he was. It was not done. It wasn't only him. Understand me? If those that defected from PDP to APC, I'm talking of Atiku, Saraki, Rotimi Amechi, Kwankwaso, and others did not defect, APC would not have won. Understand me? So it was the people in PDP that defected that gave APC victory, because the 2015 presidential election was sponsored by Lagos State and Rivers State. And Rivers State is a PDP state. So that shows it is PDP that gave APC victory in 2015. Then under the watch of Jega just affirmed it.
So now, with calls for Nyesom Wike to reconcile with the PDP and growing tensions over federal interference in the state affairs, and how critical do you think is party unity and political stability in determining Nigeria's 2027 electoral landscape?
Well,
also regarding cases regarding Nyesom Wike, a lot of them have come out to say that what is happening, that Wike shouldn't still remain in the party, that why don't he should leave PDP? I mean, look at the internal crisis going on within the PDP.
For me, or the Bible said, divided we fall. Understand me? And that's one of the reasons why what is happening in the opposition is happening, because they are divided. Understand me? And they are divided. Then Bode George is one of the enemies of PDP. Understand me? Bode George is one of the enemies of PDP. Bode George is causing the same harm in PDP.
Why do you say that?
Okay, very, very good. I know Bode George ward. Understand? He lives in Ikoyi. Since he joined PDP, he has never delivered his word to the PDP. Understand me? Every good politician starts from the home. Your popularity starts from your word. So if you are a good politician and you cannot deliver your word to your party, you are not a popular politician. So Bode George, to me, is like a former Ogbonneonu, who was the chairman or the national chairman of AMPP, but has never won councillor election. His party has never won councillor election in Ebonyi State, where he came from, which means he's just operating on the air. Politicians are grassroots. That's why Tinubu, as a governor of Lagos State, that's on the eve of every election, he will come to the APC headquarters in Lagos State, Obwa, Akume. He will tell them, go back and deliver your words to the party. If you don't do it, don't come here on Monday. And this is what every good politician is supposed to do. You have to start showing your popularity from your own word. Do you understand me? You have to start showing how popular you are from your own word. That's why the world is not moving very well. We have failed people at home now coming to rule people that's on the street.
Now, George also claims that Peter Obi cannot win the presidential election without a PDP's national structure, given the rise of a third-party movement in Nigerian politics. What do you have to say to that? I
said before APC will be defeated in 2027, there must be a unity of the parties in opposition. Even if P2B is running as PDP presidential candidate, he needs the other parties in the opposition to come together, because a people united can never be defeated. A people united can never be defeated. So the parties in the opposition need to come together and push off APC.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We're still on the recap, and I am your host, Amina. Of course, I'm not doing it here alone, and with Mr. Peter Anosike, and we're dissecting some of the news that have made headlines during the week. And, well, some of you have our phone lines, and I can see chats coming in. Do head over to our YouTube. We're streaming live on YouTube at VOP 90.3. to see the faces behind the studio, and of course drop your comment, because I'm going to be reading out some of your comment and questions if you have the contributions you have for the program. Also, you can call us on 0700 903 903 903, WhatsApp call and chat line 0817 1756 338, and a phone line also 0803-692-9933. I'm not going to be picking your calls until 5 o'clock on the dot. But in advance, you can start dropping your messages. And please just follow us right as we are dissecting the topic. Not like just don't divert us out of what we're talking about here. Now, let's move on to the next story that says the FCC grills ex-women Affairs Minister over alleged 138 million fraud. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has interrogated former Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy, over allegations of misappropriation, procurement violations, and the diversion of public funds amounting to about 138,413,253.89 kobo. I have to add the kobo at the back. Sources at the anti-graft agency confirmed that the former minister arrived at EFCC headquarters on Thursday at about 11 a.m. and has since been undergoing questioning. Now, the probe centers on funds allocated for the 2023 budget of the Women Affairs Ministry, including money earmarked for the PBAT, Cares for Women initiative, now which investigators believe was redirected for personal enrichment. Now, EFCC disclosed that preliminary findings point to a clear breach of due process, with strong evidence linking Uju Kennedy to unauthorized financial transaction and procurement irregularities. Now, the EFCC is expected to release an official statement following the conclusion of the interrogation. Now, Mr. Anosike, the question is, the former minister, which is Uju Kennedy, under EFCC interrogation over the alleged 138 million fraud. What do you think are the key allegations against her? Because do you just say, is this money allegation laundering? And how strong is the evidence pointing to her that she actually did this? Because the EFCC has not concluded their investigation and we've not heard the latest development from them.
Well,
and looking at the fact that she was appointed under the current administration. Go ahead.
Well, the way she was appointed, I want to refrain.
Okay.
I'm not in support of anybody stealing. Understand? I'm not in support of anybody stealing or misappropriating government fund. But I believe in fairness. I believe in justice. When Uju was relieved of her appointment, understand? It was Uju herself that said that she was sacked. The Bayo Ononoga that announced it did not say sack. But the issue is this: since that thing happened, Uju has been talking. She has been talking. She has been going that from one event to other. She continued with her life as if nothing happened. Her NGO, she is still doing it. So for me, I feel that this is one of the ways to keep her quiet. That's my strong opinion. As I said, I'm not in support of anybody stealing. But what EFCC is doing is pick and choose. Understand me? They are checking who should we catch and who should we look the other way. Understand me? So if you check under Buhari administration for the 8 years that Buhari was in power as a president, the only person that they used as a scapegoat was Emir Fende. Godwin Emir Fende was the only person that Buhari used to show that he is fighting corruption. The humanitarian affairs minister is there, free. Understand me? After all the allegations of siphoning hundreds of billions. Understand? The former aviation minister Hadi Sedeka is there with the broad daylight 419 that he did to Nigerians with his Ethiopian Air, where he brought Ethiopian Air, painted it with our green, white, green, say that Nigeria now has a national carrier, which is fraud, which is 419. But today, Sedeka is moving up and down free. It's only Emefiele, an Igbo man, that they feel that they should arrest. And it's only Emefiele, go and check, it's only Emefiele that has forfeited property. Among all the ministers, among everybody that served under Buhari for 8 years, only Emefiele. So an Igbo man is the only thief in Buhari's government. Fine. Tinubu's government has been, this is 2025.
Yeah.
It came in 2023. This is, he has spent 65% of his time in office. Tinubu has less than 35% because the campaign is starting June 2026, which is less than 1.5 years. So now the other person was an Igbo man. Now we now have an Igbo woman that Tinubu wants to use and show that he is also fighting corruption.
Now, she posted on X, on a handle on X, where she said, and I quoted, "I commend the EFCC for their professionalism and hospitality, and I appreciate the opportunity to address the matters that have recently been circulating the media." She said she emphasized that she managed public funds prudently during her tenure, adding that she supplemented government resources with personal funds to support initiative under President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. She said, and I quote, "During my tenure, my team and I executed our duties diligently, utilizing available resources effectively, and even supplementing with personal funds, demonstrating our dedication to the success of the renewed hope agenda for Nigerian women and children." So that was a response to that. Now, what impact could you think this have on public trust in government? Like you said,
no, somebody must be picked to show that government is fighting corruption.
If truly government is fighting corruption, do we go back to this ex-Kogi governor, Yahya Bello?
Well, Yahya Bello had a fund out with the power that be in 2023. I don't know if Nigerians are following up with the events. Period to when people were stepping down, when Fayemi of Ekiti stepped down, others stepped down. Yahya Bello was among the presidential candidates that refused to step down because Yahya Bello was backing the former Senate, the 9th National Assembly Senate president, who Buhari was also backing at that point in time. Understand me? Because Buhari never supported Tinubu. It was a later day thing that for 2023, Tinubu was never Buhari's candidate. Understand?
Yeah.
So it was a kind of afterthought when he saw that all his antics had failed. He had no other option to say, okay, I'm now supporting Buhari, Tinubu. Understand me? So Yahya Bello was standing with Ahmed, the Senate president at that point in time, and Buhari, who were not Tinubu's own people at that point in time. So that was the reason for all this harassment. Understand me? That was the reason for all this harassment. As I said, somebody must be used to show that government
is working,
is doing something.
It's doing fine.
But what Nigerians they do that once they want to pick somebody, they will go to the Igbo land and look for who to pick. Understand me? They always want to use Igbo people to shine. They always want to use the Igbo people to shine. they have been using a MFND, and they now want to use Uju Ohanenye.
So let's go on to the next story. Police vow to crush militant threatening oil production in Rivers State. Now, this River State crisis has taken a dangerous turn as a militant group, the Niger Delta Rescue Movement, threatened to attack oil installations over the ongoing political turmoil and the alleged withholding of the state federal allocation. Now, there was a viral video of armed militant warning non-indigents to leave, vowing to disrupt oil production unless the federal government intervenes. Now, in response, the Rivers State Police Command has vowed to crush any threat to national security. The Commissioner of Police, Olugbenga Adepoju, warned that law enforcement would not tolerate attempts to destabilize the state, emphasizing that no group has a monopoly on violence. Meanwhile, the ruling APC and other stakeholders have dismissed the threat as unnecessary, urging militants to allow political and legal process to resolve the crisis. Now, the question is, there is a question I want to ask before we go into that. With militants threatening to escalate in Rivers State and a viral video showing armed groups where people they were vowing to disrupt oil production. Now, how prepared do you think are the security agencies to prevent violence and protect national assets?
Well, for me, the Boko Haram ISWAP that is there for more than 15 years now, they have not even scratched it. They have not scratched it. Insecurity is on the high. Insecurity is on the high. And if they are good in history, and they know what happened between 2006 and 2007, they will not be saying this. Because between 2006 and 2007, these people brought our oil quota down to almost zero. The militants brought down the oil quota, our own production quota, down to almost zero. That Jonathan had to use Kanu. Jonathan, as the vice president, has to use Kanu to go inside the creek to appeal to them to nail down their arms. So for me, they said that talk is cheap. They said that talk is cheap. It's not easy to fight a guerrilla warfare. It is not easy to fight war, because if the commissioner of police or whoever is talking right now, our budget is in problem, because our budget was put at $75 per barrel, but oil has fallen down to 73 dollars. Understand me? Which means we will not even be able to meet our budget. Our budget is already in deficit. Because, and there's no way oil will go up again, because Donald Trump has come. There's now peace in the Middle East. What makes oil that to go up is if there's tension among the OPEC countries, which is majorly in the Middle East. But now Iran is down. Iran cannot sponsor any violence in the Middle East. So there's no way the price of oil will go up. So we are not going to see any windfall in the oil at least in the next 3-4 years. So our budget is in problem. And if these people did not take, if Nyesom Wike, the APC did not take time, and these militants start busting the pipelines, it's going to be bad for everybody. It is going to be very bad for everybody in the country. And again, for stopping allocation to the river state.
Yeah, whereby the Supreme Court has ordered the seizure of allocations.
That's why I don't have respect for Nigerian judges, judges anymore. Because in 2004, the Tinubu, Olusegun Obasanjo as the president was refused to give allocations to when Tinubu was the governor. Tinubu created a local council development authorities, LCMDAs, and Obasanjo opposed it and refused to give allocation to Lagos State. Tinubu went to court, and the Supreme Court declared that government has no power to withhold allocations due to the states and the local government. This is a Supreme Court decision. That was 2004. And now, 2025, 11 years after, the same Supreme Court has now issued an order to CBN to withhold funds going to River State. You see, contradiction. You see it? Contradiction.
So do you think this is what is fueling the unrest among militant groups?
They ought to. They ought to. Because this is a fund that will be used to build hospitals, schools, pay workers, which means Supreme Court want all these people to do what? So for me, they should be careful with the decisions that they are taking. When you withhold a fund that is going to a state, you are suffering millions of people, because those who are working and deserve to be paid will not be paid.
Okay,
there will be no infrastructure.
We have more time to continue on this story. Let's quickly look at the last one before we open our phone lines for the people's contribution to the program. Now, Senate unanimously votes to suspend Senator Natasha for 6 months. That has been trending on X, on social media, both on Facebook and all platforms. The Nigerian Senate has unanimously suspended Senator Natasha Uduaghan Kogi Central for 6 months following recommendations from the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition. Do you see the video where she submitted a petition to the Senate President when she submitted her petition? Yes. Okay, you saw the video. We're coming to that. Now, Senator Natasha's confrontation with Senate President Godswill Akpabio escalated into allegations of harassment, prompting an investigation by the Ethics Committee. The committee found her actions in violation of Senate rules, leading to a decisive vote to impose disciplinary measures. As part of her suspension, she is barred from the National Assembly. Her office remain locked, and both her salary and that of her aides will be withheld. She must also issue a formal apology before her reinstatement is considered. The Ethics Committee report criticized her refusal to appear before the panel, labeling her conduct as disrespectful to the institution. Now, the Senate Minority Leader, Abba Moore, supported the disciplinary action, emphasizing the need to maintain order within the Senate. This suspension underscores the growing tensions in the Senate and signals a firm stand on internal discipline. Okay. Let me start with you first, because I have a lot to say about this. And talking about it's an International Day today, and our Senate President Godswill Akpabio is even invited to talk in one of the conference ahead, rather today, about women speaking up against harassment, domestic violence, abuse, and every other thing. So I don't know. How do you think he has placed himself in the Nigerian Senate generally? How do you think he has placed the Nigerian Senate in the eyes of the world?
Well, for me, yesterday I saw him receiving an award from women for being gender and friendly, whatever. That was an award that was packaged under 24 hours to make him look good. Understand? That award he received yesterday was just packaged and paid for under 24 hours to make him look good. What is happening now is getting international traction. Understand me? It is an embarrassment to the Nigerian Senate and to the Nigerian people.
Now, the utterances of the Senate president, whenever the what do they call it, the readings or whatever they're going on in the Senate, in the assembly is going on, there was this viral video that one of the popular bloggers posted when he called, was he not a female senator? So would say, you're not in the club or something.
That's Natasha.
Where you're not in the club.
This is not in a night.
This is not in a nightclub. And if we go back to that, he later come out to apologize that statement, because people were like, why will a Senate president utter that statement? That shows the way he thinks. Because an idea must first of all emanate in the brain. Exactly. For him to
understand
let's start with this. Do you think that the allegations that Natasha have put towards Godswill, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, are true? I'm
not there. Understand? I'm not there.
I mean, we have seen this firsthand. Was when he said, you're not in the club, when he shut her up first time. And now it happened again when she was shut out and, her seat was taken to the back, and when she said her voice cannot be silent. And then she came out to reveal that she was harassed by the Senate president because she refused the advances. These are why he's coming out her during this meetings in the Senate House when it's happening. So we've seen the first hand, we've seen the second hand. Now, do you think that something must have happened between them that Godswill Akpabio is coming at her like this?
I say sexual harassment is not what people do in public. It is not what people do in public. So, but we are human beings. We have conscience. We have God's spirit in us that tells us whether something is true or not outside what the decision that's of the court. Understand me? Just like in the presidential election of 2023, court declared somebody president, but the God in most Nigerians told them that the decision of the court was wrong. Understand me? So that's why I said that we have a conventional court and court of conscience. So and for me, my court of conscience told me that Natasha is not accusing the Senate president falsely. Did you understand?
She's an adult, and I'm very sure that she has the support of her husband, because we saw the video while the husband was following, escorting her into the Senate chambers, and they exchanged what they call a kiss or something, like, okay, I'm solidly behind you, go on, reveal it to the world what this man is. And obviously she knows the kind of person that Akpabio is, and she also knows that this is rightly coming at her, of course, now. And the First Lady have come to talk about this, and guess what she said? And she's been receiving backlash on X. when she said, I quoted that I know what is going on in the Senate. You will say why I am not taking a position. I believe that the Senate is doing what is needful by suspending her and, taking away all what is due to her. This is because the Senate is a mature chamber and it should be treated with respect.
For me, the most mature National Assembly that I have seen is the National Assembly of 2003. When Omar Naba was there. Understand me? Since then, it has been going down until Saraki emerged. Understand me? As the president of the 88th Senate. Now, this is now a Senate of anyhow. Understand me? That is what I will call this Senate, anyhow Senate, because I'm not seeing any maturity either in discussion, understand me, in character or anything, because every senator has 13 people attached to him or her, every senator, and which are paid by the government. And the job of these 13 people is to research on any of the issues that the senator wants to present to the public or in the Senate. These people are to guide him or her, do research for him or her, so that when they come out that to present a motion or a bill, they'll be talking from the point of intelligence.
Do you think the Nigerian government or the administration, the governments that have been in the presidency have been really doing well regarding putting women in positions like this? We're going to talk about...
No, excuse me. Government does not pick who is to run for an election. It is a personal thing.
Okay.
It is a personal thing. If you want to run for, if you want to run for 2027 Senate, you go and you enter a political
now, looking
party.
at, we have how many women in the Senate right now that you know?
It is only 3 of them that express interest.
Out of male-dominated, express interest. Even the 3 that express interest are facing backlash amongst men. Now, do you think this is an African problem?
Go and watch the U.S. Congress or the U.S. Senate. It is the same thing, male dominated. It is male dominated. But in the Senate, you are not recognized as a man or as a woman. You are recognized as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and everybody is given equal treatment.
So are you saying that rather that women are given equal rights in the assembly as the male in Nigeria?
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about what happened in Lagos in the National Assembly between Miranda and Obasa. What do you think played out? Because I see it as the fact that Miranda, she's a female. Because she was emotional at some point when the majority supported her in the House, and now she has forcefully, she had to resign, she has to step down.
The majority that supported her are males. Mm-hmm. When you watch her speaking, look at her back, it is male. Mm-hmm. So it is not woman supporting woman.
Okay, now how is it intimidating, or rather do you think it is intimidating that no, I was supposed to rephrase my question. Do you think Obasa has intimidated her as a woman speaker?
Obasa did not act alone. A force higher than Obasa acted for Obasa.
Now, there was a report that the same first lady, said, an unconfirmed source, but it was on social media, that because Obasa is to remain a speaker because he was supposed to, donate the Agege constituency during the election, and that is why he has to be in that position, because the government uses Obasa undisclosed source. The government using Obasa to secure a particular constituency during the election, and that has also given him upper hand to come back into the Senate.
Well, I don't discuss undisclosed source.
It was all over on social media,
You say undisclosed source. If you know what you are saying, you should come out and say it.
The actions of Obasa just walking in back into the Senate. Don't you think that this 1 + 1 is?
I say it is a force higher than Obasa that sent Obasa back to the Lagos State House of Assembly. It's not Obasa himself.
It's a force. Who are these forces? Do you think that are
somebody feel that the word is exchange of value? The person at the top feel that Obasa will be more valuable to him than Merenda. Understand me? So this is an interest game, a value game. So it's not Obasa as a human being, but the use that what Obasa will be used for in the future. And the person felt that Merenda may not be able to do that.
Okay, now with the senator barred from last question before I open the phone lines, with the senator barred from the National Assembly currently and her salaries withheld, what legal or political avenues are available to her for challenging the suspension right now?
Well, for me, the people that will suffer this is not Natasha, but the people of Kogi Central, in particular, and Nigerians in general, because she is there carrying the burden of the people that voted her. They voted her for expectation, understand me, to present their problems to the Senate for solution. It means for the next 6 months, their problems will not be presented. All the bills that Natasha is supposed to be brought to bring them to the Senate will not be. So withholding her salary does not make sense. Understand? It is not her that you are punishing. She is already a multi-millionaire.
Now
for you to run as a senator, as a senator in Nigeria, you need to have more than 1 billion naira. So for her that to have run for that position, salary doesn't mean anything to her.
Now the Senate president has ruled out her petition. Are you aware? Yeah, that's the latest. He has ruled out the petition. Don't you think that for people to have this idea that she's right, the allegations are not true according to Senate president? According to him, he says the allegations are false allegations against him. Don't you think that outrightly he would have just stepped down and let his deputy take over while the investigations are going on? But for him to just outrightly roll out a petition, what do you think of the Nigerian Senate doing this? And in future, what are they trying to communicate?
Well, if it's in a civilized country, if it's, understand me, the Senate president ought to have resigned. Because you cannot be a judge in your own case. In this matter, Akpabio is a judge in his own case. And if you are a judge in your own case, you cannot find yourself guilty. So Akpabio ought to have resigned and let investigation go on unfettered. If at the end of the day he is found not guilty, he will come back and resume his position. But Nigerians don't resign. That is one thing that is very foreign to us here. Even if we are accused of stealing all the money in the country, we still want to remain in office. And the suspension to me is an overkill. There's no senator in Nigeria that they have treated that way. There's no senator in Nigeria that they have got all her allowances, security aids, knock her Senate chamber and everything. So for me, it is an overkill, and it's a wrong signal to other women in Nigeria. It is a wrong signal to other women in Nigeria, don't come here. If you are coming, you must shut up.
Exactly.
Understand me? So this is the signal that they have sent. If you are a woman, don't come to the Senate. If you must come, whatever happened to you, you must not talk. Because in this, there was no fair judgment, there was no fair hearing, there was no investigation, and you just passed a damning verdict on somebody. So for me, it doesn't show democracy in any way.
Thank you so much for that insightful analysis. And you're still listening to the recap on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And we have been doing this all along from 4 o'clock. And we draw the curtain from 4 o'clock. We draw the curtain at 6 rather. So the phone lines to call. No, before I call out the phone lines, let's take a break. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. You're still listening to the recap on 90.3 FM, Voice of the People. And we have been talking about quite a number of stories. And if you're just joining us, we talked about some of the stories which are Nigeria ranked 6th in Global Terrorism Index as Sahel becomes epicenter of violence. Say Nigeria ranked 6th in global terrorism, rather. Islamic cleric criticizes schools closure for Ramadan, but the judge rejects Article's 2027 bid, urges Peter Obi to join PDP. My phone has been buzzing. So let me also give out the phone number rather, to those that don't know. The phone number to call in is 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp chat line, leave your messages on 0817 175 6338. And the second number to call in as well is 0803 692 9933. So, still on the headlines, we talked about EFCC grills ex-Women Affairs Minister over alleged 138 million fraud. Police vow to crush militant threatening oil production in rivers. Then the last but not the least, on a special day like this, Senate unanimously vote to suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti for 6 months. So now a lot of people have left a message for me on WhatsApp. I'm going to be taking few, and of course we're streaming live on YouTube. Just head over to YouTube, and don't forget you can follow and also subscribe to some of our interesting programs coming ahead, rather on at VOP 90.3. So let's take the first chart that says, "Good afternoon, Amina and Mr. Anosike. Thank God Nigeria is rising to number 6 in the world." That sounds comical in terms of terrorism activities. Before the end of this year, Nigeria will overtake the remaining 5 countries to become number 1. Oh, okay. Politician has brought us this far. It's a pity to see this country heading towards this direction. Gallant Zulu from Ojo. Okay. It's so bad. I don't know. It's like a foreign number. Yomi, Shefumi. Oh my God. I'm so bad in Yoruba, but please help me retranslate this. Thank you, sir. This good evening. Well, it's not Esther here. My name is Amina. So, good evening, Mr. Anosike. Happy International Women's Day to me, to Esther, wherever she is. I'm sure she's listening. You didn't read my message, and oh, okay. First, how do one know the right business to invest and understanding? Okay, you were on for business, on the business program. So, you can leave your comments on the program previously. Just head over to the YouTube and leave your comment. Mr. Anosike will take it from there. Mr. Anosike, can you bring any evidence shows when President visit APC headquarters and telling them to deliver? Just watch what you see on national radio like this. Present a good job.
Excuse me, I'm saying it again. When Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, on the eve of every election, APC headquarters in Lagos is at Obwa, Akume.
Yes.
He goes there and tell them, go and deliver your words to the party. And that's what every person would say. Understand me? It's not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. And any leader of a party that is not saying it is not a politician. So he doesn't understand me. Understand me? It could be that, okay. Go on. I don't want to use any bad word.
Yeah, thank you.
Respect for the women.
Okay, thank you. It's a special day for us. Good afternoon, VOP family. Mr. Anosike, good afternoon, sir. Happy weekend, sir. My person, Ifeanyi Chukwu from Egbeda, good afternoon. Let's be honest, this prosecution against my name Igbo must stop because Uju is an Igbo woman. If not, where is Yaya Bello? Or is he no more being investigated? My other point is the push against Goodluck Elibele Jonathan Gage Oster was masterminded by Obasanjo, and nobody have ever mentioned his name in regard to what Nigeria is going through today. If you can remember, OBJ wrote letters that cannot be counted at the fingertips against Gage. Let's be very objective once again.
Obasanjo was part of it. Obasanjo played a big part in the coming of Buhari in 2015. Obasanjo tore his PDP membership card. Understand me? So when you are talking about the trouble with Nigeria, Obasanjo is among them. Obasanjo is among the trouble with Nigeria.
I remember I watched a video on the BBC where a play was played during a BBC presentation I attended, and it was a BBC presenter that asked him some question, and the first question was, there was a saying that you are the father of corruption in Nigeria, and the next he just blows up. What did you just call me? A father of corruption? I am not a father of corruption. Corruption has been in existence before I came on board. Wow.
Yes, the truth is that you cannot give a name to something that you don't know. Understand me? Corruption is an English word. It's not a Hausa word, it's not a Yoruba word, it's not an Igbo word. Those that gave it corruption, it is happening in their own land.
It started listing different administrations that have been corrupt.
So no, Britain is corrupt because that corruption is an English word. It is within them. That's why they have a name for it.
Okay, but the presenter actually talking to him. We'll come back to that. Let me take this. John from Ijaniki. I support the Ije for their stance. Let Supreme Court provide money to the federal government, since they can give bad judgment that will affect our oil production. And oh wow, where do I start from? This is such a long one. Dayo, you come again. Good evening, crew. Concerning Natasha, someone said if they had more women in the Senate, would support Natasha. I don't agree with her. Even the others there, they didn't support her. Even the former female senators, like your first lady that complained that Dino Melaye harassed her sexually, did not support her because it's her party. Also, Itagiwa Biodun Olujimi, the former Ekiti senator too, did not support her. So the Senate is now a secret court, like they say loyalty na kashankario. Objection na mortuary, everybody get agenda with the mercenary enterprise. How will there be peace without justice? So with this blah government, impunity, lawlessness and corruption will be the order of the day. It's a shame the worst of us is really the best of us. Truly, there was a country in Nigeria. There was a country in Lagos. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? Good evening. This will be calling from Ikeja.
Good evening, Obi. Welcome to the recap.
First time
What's
I'm
your
hearing
name?
this voice. I mean, how are you doing?
I'm good. This is not actually my first time on radio, but I've been on VOP TV rather. But I missed you guys too. But okay.
Chipanosik, I want to hear your voice. Chipanosik, Grito.
Thank you so much.
Chipanosik, let me correct the person that sent us about if he's a politician. At the eve of every election, I've been a politician who will be ordered to go back to your zones and go and deliver. That is the instruction they used to give. It's not a new thing and it's not a bad thing. Every good politician must go back to his base to deliver his base. Thank you. Let me talk about police huffing and puffing, making noise. Anosike, do you know that in Imo State, a lot of my local government, Ituboma, Obowo, if you are conversant with Imo State, Isialamba, remember, there's no police station. Police people, they ran away when these boys attacked them. We don't have police stations in Imo State. And they are talking of River State where ammunitions are everywhere. These people, they live in the creek in Libya. That's where police, they said they should keep making noise. They should better bring peace to River State because the army cannot even contend them not to talk of police. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. Quite insightful. Okay, let me take some of the comments on our YouTube page. Like I said, we are live streaming. So drop your comment. I'm going to be taking them. OJBAK, sorry, did I murder that? I'm really sorry. Since it's no longer Igboku, Agiri Iransi must be honored like Abiola. Okay. Is this World Agiri Iransi Day? The Ogubush, that day was indeed a day of mourning in Nigeria. Victor Chukwemeka then should go and arrest other former CJN is there. Victor Ikebo, greetings from Cameroon. Hello? Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Good evening. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, this is Nnamdi calling from Spain.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
Well, I'm not too fine anyway.
Why is that? Hello?
It's off now. It's off.
Oh, I think that's the network problem. Please do call back. And I'm taking some of the comment on YouTube. Both Andrew says both Binta Yako and the new judge are not different. They are both from Nigeria. Hello. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is The Truth.
What's your name?
The Truth.
The Truth. Okay. From where?
From Justice Avenue.
Okay. You're welcome. 2 minutes.
One, when the foundation is bad, everything is bad. According to the psalmist, when the foundation is bad, what can the righteous say? Nothing. Since the amalgamation of this country, north and south, the foundation is from lie, was laid roughly. First and foremost, I'm thanking Uncle Pera for the wisdom, knowledge, understanding. He has been enlightening, fighting for the mercies. I thank God for his life. 2, unless the INEC is independent and the judiciary, without them being independent, if the politicians, either 10 or 20, team up together, they can't win that. They can't win APC. Unless these two bodies, because most of our institutions in Nigeria are corrupt. The army, the police, the navy. You just mentioned all the armed forces. They are corrupt. Unless you have independent judiciary and INEC, that will save us. Number 3, concerning the militants, I support them 100% because the judgment being given by the Supreme Court and that of 2023, we have conscience. They are twisting, they are calling black white. All our judiciary.
You have 1 minute more?
Yes, I will manage.
Okay.
And concerning Natasha's issue, any man or boy, married or not married, if you approach a woman, either lady or a married woman, the day you approach her, either the lady girl, that day you lose your dignity. That's how day you lose your respect.
Approach her. What approach? What advances are you talking about? Let's be clear.
You talk what it concerns of love any day, if a boss or guy, those are the top in the offices.
Okay.
You approach your subject that you are in love or you love her or you want to date it. That day, that's the reason why Natasha has the guts, has the audacity to confront the whoever you call his name.
Akpabio.
Exactly. That's why. If not, how can he confront him? There is something underneath.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for that input. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call in, and 0803 692 9933. I take this from WhatsApp. Good evening, Amina and Mr. Anosiki. The president should, as a matter of urgency, call all stakeholders in Rivers State to a round table. I'm going to pick this call. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Amina. This is Nnamdi calling back.
Oh, thank you so much for calling back. Okay.
Okay. Well, Amina, I greet Mr. Anosiki.
Thank you so much.
Okay, happy weekend, my brother. I mean, people talking about APC winning, even though it's not a match.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
The network is not friendly at all. You see, let me just try on the one for this thing. On people talking about APC, people, if that doesn't say much, they cannot tell this thing.
I'm so sorry. It's like that. Maybe looking at the distance. Okay, while I was reading that before your call came in, the president should, as a matter of urgency, call all stakeholders in Rivers State to a roundtable discussion so as to arrive at a political solution for the crisis ignited. For the crisis, oh my God, sorry. For the crisis ignited by his FCT minister. If the crisis is allowed to fester, it will spell doom for Nigeria. Nigeria will not be doomed in Jesus' name. Anwebunwa from Alagbado. Okay, this one says the police is making an empty threat against the militant. Yaradra tried all he could to silence the militant at his time, but he couldn't. Rather, he had to use wisdom, which was dialogue and amnesty program. APC government just want to make the lives of Nigerians worse by waking a sleeping dog. They should do the needful now before it's too late, because they won't win the militant if they rise again. Isaac from Yanopaja. You want to say something?
I want to add to this. When the militants we are fighting was 2006, 2007, by then we don't have Boko Haram, we don't have ISWAP. Understand? So it is just the Nigerian military and the militants in the Niger Delta. So they can mobilize and go there fully. But now they are weakened. Understand? Boko Haram started being violent from 2009. But from 2006, 2007, there's nothing like terrorist Boko Haram. And then Nigerian military cannot do them anything then. So now Nigerian military has been weakened, they have been decimated. Understand? These militants would just use them as children, because they will be fighting in 4 different fronts. Fighting militants, fighting ISWAP, fighting Boko Haram, fighting bandits. So what they should do is to call Wike to order, Wike and his boys, so that they will not attempt anything that will make the militants go into action.
All right, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from? Oh, we lost that call. Please do call back again. Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Nice to hear from you. What's your name once again?
Yeah, I'm Remy, calling from Brazil.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon to Mr. Anosike. And happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
On a week where Nigerian women were told that they have no place for justice. There's no justice for them in Nigeria. And the incident of Natasha, in my view, will bring transgenerational consequence. And I said so because someone said she's been abused, and the accused person is someone who has, one, been slapped for trying to mess around another woman. Joyce Noonan said she slapped Akpabio, and Akpabio has not taken her to court. She has not been sued for defamation. According to the public knowledge, he has been slapped. So this woman raised a point, and everybody just condemned her. And it's a game. It was a game that was played because the woman that recommended that was hired to recommend a suspension, that happened because if a man did it, they would say, "Oh, look at it's a man, it's a man's word." They brought in all these Itagiwa, another figure, to come and speak just to validate the injustice done to that woman.
1 minute, and please.
I will shut up soon. I know you don't like to hear my voice.
Oh my God, I love your voice. That's why I said thank you again for calling.
I apologize. I'm kidding. But,
all right.
But my fear, Hamina, is that what they have done now, many women will be scared of speaking out.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Secondly, if these women are not able to speak out, they will accumulate anger. And that accumulated anger will make them to take law into their hands and attack any man that harass them. Have a good day.
Thank you so much for that. Let's take some of the messages on WhatsApp. Oh, okay. This Mr. Anosike, she is the second to be suspended for long. Author Easy was suspended also for 2 years. If Natasha is in APC, she wouldn't have been suspended because the current First Lady, who also speaks against sexual harassment, fought in the chamber during sitting, but no suspension was given to her. Jude from Jakondi Estate, which is right. Jude is right. Are you in support of what Jude just said, Mr. Anosike?
Adam Soshomonde says so. If you are in APC, all your sins are forgiven.
All your sins are forgiven. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you loud and clear. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I'm good, I'm fine.
I'm calling from the Delta State.
Okay, go ahead, please.
So, what I am Farouk Garba Kaibile, Kedi State of Nigeria.
Thank you, Gareth.
The question I have about Nigeria is confusing me always. So, I don't know why we Nigeria we lack manner. The manner what we lack is to say we know one peace and we know golden peace. But northern Nigeria and southwest Nigeria and south and south Nigeria. So we don't know the solution where we were supposed to be so that we can get peace always. And
and the people who were supposed to be near government or government do then all they follow their advice to governor, they refuse always. So this lack manner what we they lack always. So you know good always.
Thank you, Garba. So what do you think should be the solution that Nigerians lack manner?
Yes, we lack manner always.
What's the solution to this menace?
Because why I say that, we say we lack manner, we say any president in charge, so what's in mind himself and family and how we will get the money, not be by peace. So when something happen about like one way you give example for Boko Haram, Fulani men and WhatsApp report, all this.
Garba from Kebbi, I really love that. I wish you had completed, you finished your contributions towards that. Hello. Hello, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Michael Argentina. I'm calling from Ago.
Michael from Ago. Okay, let's have your take.
So, I like you to do work you are doing. You are doing a nice job.
Thank you so much. We have just 50 seconds for you.
Good evening. How are you?
Oh.
I'm fine.
Yes. So, in this issue of Nigeria, is too much. As Mr. Nnamdi was saying about Igbo people is the one they used to use as a scapegoat. Any commitment, anything they want to do against Nigeria, they use Igbo person as a scapegoat to punish Igbo people, which is not good. You can remember what happened to this person, Samaipa, because of his Igbo person, that's what they focus on it. I'm coming out in two force, the chief of army service. That is where I know that they are working at it. But all the Boko Haram names they mentioned, nobody talk about it. After that, Igbo name is there. That one they name. They would like to bring out the list out because they found out that all the names are Hausa. That's why they couldn't bring it out. The way they are marketing Igbo people in this country, they are just like fourth class, which is not good. They're supposed to take us as one Nigeria.
God help us all. They're supposed to take us as one Nigeria. Thank you so much for that insightful analysis. At the beginning, I was asked, where are those women who usually speak and take positions when a random man is alleged to assault one woman? And you see female governors, president's wife, etc., with their usual feminist rhetorics. But now that the characters involved are in their level, they are quiet or speaking with different tunes. So much for women supporting women. All this women agenda is all politics, and the gullible ones can't see beyond the plague of feminism. I mean, using Lagos State as an example, why must gender be brought into every situation, for God's sake? I think women who cite such examples are lazy in thought. Was Ningi and co not suspended? Did men cry gender tears? Women should stop playing victim. The society is controlled and frustrated by men, and women who make life hard are easy for both gender. So women should stop all this annoying victimization or careless blame game. Men should start speaking up and calling women out for sexual harassment. What some women call compliment may be derogatory. You didn't say where you're typing us from. Suspension of Natasha is a strong call for the women all over the world to rise up over their own, because keeping silent, the more means that evil will rise up against them, mostly in public office and political arena. Hello, good evening. Sorry, hold on. Chika Bende from Trade Fair. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Aisha.
Amina.
Oh,
Why
I
do people
beg
call me
your
Aisha?
pardon, please.
No problem. I accept it with my full
All right.
chest.
Amina, good evening.
Good evening.
This is Joval. I greet Mr. Peter Nosike. I love to hear his voice all the time.
Good evening, Jovial.
Mr. Peter Rosike, thank you. Amina,
Yes, sir.
one question for you before I start.
Question for me. Well, I'm
Yes,
giving you 40 seconds.
as a woman.
40 seconds.
Don't worry. Happy International Women's Day to you and all
40
other
seconds
women.
for you. What's your question and your answer?
Amina, is the president's wife for you or against you as a woman? I think that question should go down into the hearts of every woman in Nigeria. Just because of this thing that happened between Natasha and Akpabio. Clearly, the president's wife has taken side. Honestly, I'm asking, is she for you or against you? Already called from London and said that with this, women will not be confident again if they are harassed to say anything about it. I want to encourage women not to give up. Natasha is not giving up. And that suspension for 6 months, I don't know where that thing is coming from. I think even if the court judgment that led to her suspension was improper behavior in the house, for 6 months, no, that's too much. Women, today is your day. Think about this. Wake up. If you keep quiet, men, especially Nigerian men in particular, will not want to liberate you. I shall greet you.
Thank you so much.
I greet you. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. I collect everything with my full chest. My 40 seconds is gone. Thank you so much. Like I said, Mr. Anasiki, and I feel like just what Jovel said, this thing is becoming an African thing, like this man ego thing in control, this man dominating thing that a woman cannot talk down on a man. That is exactly what is playing out as individual, not individual. I mean, and I think we should our mothers should start teaching men. I mean, as they grow, start letting them understand that they should embrace women.
For me, all these things start from the home and the kind of education that they are giving women are not encouraging at all. An instance, women are not giving their children the kind of education that will make them to stand up to men. I'm not.
You mean women are not giving their girl child the education to stand up against male?
I don't mean being rude or being insulting, but knowing that. That there's no difference between a man and a woman. An instance, when JAMB is setting questions, they don't set different questions for men and different questions for women.
Yes.
Both of them take the same questions. In the university, there's no courses for men and different courses for women. Both of them take the same. This is equality. So why must you now, when you come out, you begin to feel inferior? It's wrong. It's wrong. And this starts from what mothers tell their children that, behind every successful man is a woman. It is wrong. Understand me? One, Dangote signs autograph. His wife does not sign an autograph. Understand me?
Okay.
Then when you begin to tell a woman that your happiest day is your wedding day, you are removing her from competition. So instead of working on her brain, she will now be working on her body to look beautiful for the men. All these are wrong. Women are not taught to be competitive, and it is affecting them. It is affecting them.
Thank you so much for that. I lost that from Marshall. Please do call back. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, lady.
Good evening.
My greeting goes to fearless Mr. Peter Anusike.
Fearless indeed. Please, 40 seconds for you.
Mr. Peter Anusike.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. This is Baba calling from Egbeda.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, ma. My take is on this chipboard giving advice to Peter Obi. You see, I will just tell all these people, opposition people, there is nothing will come out from their merger because you see this APC, they have planted their own element inside all the various parties. So whether they form alliance, it will not work. You see what will happen work for them during 2015 is that it was that because there was nothing like that then. But now they have planted their groups inside all the political party opposition. So it will not work. And again, I make people, they are getting work for them. So that's my take on that. Then my another submission goes to these people. And what is the second topic? I forgot. So anyway, just let me stop there. I forgot my second.
Okay, your 40 seconds is over, but that is quite insightful, and I got that, and I'm sure every one of that listened to you got that. Thank you so much for calling. And now, okay, hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, Amina. This is Marshall. I'm calling from Ikeja. Good evening, Mr. Kanu. God bless you for your work.
All right.
Okay, quick one. I'm going to refer to what's going on in the Senate. First of all, we are not practicing democracy, we're practicing grace. Secondly, if we were to be in a sane country, the first thing that should have happened, that is expected, is for the president to step aside, for due diligence to be done. That is not something that needs a petition. You are supposed to step aside because you cannot be the judge over your own case. You said someone should bring a petition that it cannot be investigated. Petition was brought forward and you are saying it's dead on arrival. That should tell you that what is playing out now is already premeditated. They already know what they were going to do. So I just feel like this is total injustice. I'm not saying Natasha is right. I'm not saying what happened. I'm not saying what happened. But you should at least look into it.
There was no preliminary investigation. You have like
exactly
15 seconds more.
So we are just in a country whereby there's no equality. Now it's now turning to a gender war. Which is not supposed to be.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I catch you that on that point. It's now becoming a gender war. Marshall, thank you so much for that. So we have just 4 minutes before we draw the curtain for today. So I'm sorry if I'm not able to pick your calls. Please, why is it that Nigeria rises in every negative and bad thing but goes down in every good thing? My question to EFCC is, where is Yahaya Bello? Mr. Nnamdi, according to you, Britain and USA is corrupt. Why are their countries better today? Chinamere from Agbara. I'm not taking anything long. Greetings, Senator Natasha can't be supported by her fellow senators. Why? Reason being that she break the Senate standing rules. Sorry for that. The Senate standing rules, even when she was drawn to the order, she continued ranting. Udom. Also, it's a big lie to that person who said if Natasha was in APC, she wouldn't have been suspended. If that person has been listening to the news, the person wouldn't make such weak assumptions. Again, it's about gender. Women should disabuse their mind with a one-side narrative they have. Just like Amina is saying, that's how the usual women would think about a man, and it's very unfortunate. When would you people understand the society is being governed by women and women, especially in the family? Women is very influential, even if the man seems to be the father of the house. I draw that quoting on WhatsApp for today. Let me head over to YouTube. Chidebere Chiwike said the power that Wike has. I don't think Tinubu has such power in Nigeria. Lawson Amadi says Natasha has Russian blood. Bear in mind they fight to the end. she roll out her evidence when the chips are down. So Russian blood, they fight to the end. Okay, we have an example. Chidebere Chiweke, his father said, why did you bring Mr. Anosike on this program again? This is Women's Day. You should have bring a man that has, he has respect for women and has love for women. He's also talking in regards everything for the support of women should stand up and speak for themselves. I mean, you should be able to understand English. Clarity is very important. One last call, please. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Brazil, please. I'm calling from
Brazil?
Yeah.
Oh.
Please, I
okay.
want to send my greeting to Mr. Anosike.
Okay.
One, and also very good evening to you.
Thank you.
Please, I've been following your program. I think this is my first time of calling.
Oh, thank
you.
You. That's a clap. Thank you.
Yes. Sometimes you see this country we are inside. Sometimes you feel so tired about things happening. Online, I've been following up on this Natasha and our Senate president. The same online I saw our first lady talking about Natasha and Senate House dignity, please. I also saw her video when she was also in that the same chamber fighting. Now she's telling us about Natasha, and I also saw Natasha when she was presenting her own case, and at the end of the day, she was now suspended. I don't know, just like Mr. Anosike was saying, whether it's women in our public offices, whether women are not second classes, they don't have mouth to say. And I believe it is in a house where you marry a wife that she's supposed to respect you, not in office where people are presiding. Because it's the same work you are offering, she's offering there. There is no difference between a man and a woman in office. So that is just one for that. And another thing I just want to say concerning this, I just want to use the opportunity to talk about this, our organization, that they come out to give 100 million government to pay them when our general.
That's not in our news. That's not in our news for today. So the last one here I'm taking on WhatsApp. Great Women International Day to you, Amina. International, thank you. The suspension of Senator Natasha is on her flouting the rule of the House. But after the suspension, Akpabio's harassment case must be brought up and to face the court in law court. Thanks, Prince Ivonweze from Cater. Thanks so much for everyone that has contributed to make the show interesting and great. And it's always good to be back with you guys, driving you from 4 o'clock with a smooth, we know entak poto. We just they drive, they go, it just they smooth. Thank you so much for making it easy from this end and the other end. So, Mr. Anosike, what do you have to say to you?
I appreciate everybody that listened and those that were able to call. God bless you all.
Okay, I implore you to go to our YouTube page at VOP 90.3 FM, follow and click on the subscribe to. We have more interesting programs coming up on the programs on the show on the radio daily that you don't want to miss. Interesting ones, and of course, an avenue to tell you that VOP TV is just right on just the corner there. Also click on the subscription. There my face is there on the TV version of our sister radio station here. Thank you so much for joining us today. Do have a lovely weekend and see you next week. Bye for now.